Durrati presents himself as a neutral, secular fact checker and research based content creator. But both you and me know that this is not the truth. Durrati has repeatedly claimed that he is and has never been politically affiliated. But in January 2017, a certain political party's social media head confirmed that he was part of their research group. He created multiple promotional content and campaign videos that appeared on the party's social media channels. As you know, this isn't neutrality. This is direct political involvement. Durrati's content often mirrors tweets and talking points from certain activists, whom he repeatedly states that he is not involved with. In many cases, the videos on his channel were released just 2 or 3 days after their public statements on X. This is again not coincidence. It's synchronized messaging. Same way, Durrati claims that he never runs promotional ads. He categorically denies ever boosting his content. But evidence surfaced his Rafael deal video ran as a paid YouTube ad. After being exposed, the ad quietly disappeared. So much for organic growth. It was pay to promote. Critics of Dhruvrati have also been reported to being blocked, mass reported, and harassed by Dhruvrati's supporters. In May of 2024, a politician received rape and death threats after a Dhruvrati video targeted them. Multiple people have also faced online abuse after raising questions. The message is very clear. If you challenge Dhruvrati, you risk being mobbed and cyberbullied. Dhruvrati's integrity is about as strong as a twig. And so, given the character of the person we are talking about, it's really funny to see how some people think that he is a Hindu and has Hindu interests at heart. Let's actually break down the reality of Dhruvrati and his relationship with Hinduism. Despite claiming secular objectivity, Dhruvrati's content disproportionately mocks and discredits Hinduism and Hindu leaders. He routinely labels Hindu festivals, rituals, and Hindu monks as superstition while avoiding similar critique of other religions. For example, he's made videos mocking Kumbh Mela, calling it a COVID super spreader, but remained silent during mass gatherings of other communities which happened during the same time. This is not balance, it's selective outrage. Spiritual leaders and Hindu gurus are routinely ridiculed, while radical statements from other religious or political ideologies go unchallenged. So, why the double standard? In attempts to appear progressive, Devrati often criticizes Hindu epics, reducing Ramayana and Mahabharata to fictional drama while ignoring their factual, their cultural, their philosophical, and historical depth. He's misquoted scriptures, he's called them regressive, yet never applies the same critical lens to the sacred religious texts of other religions. This isn't any sort of reform. It's ridicule disguised as critique. While being very quick to amplify alleged offenses by Hindus, Dorati remains conspicuously silent of attacks on Hindus, whether it's temple vandalism in Bangladesh, Hin- Hindu persecution in Pakistan, or the systematic erasure of Kashmiri Hindu voices. His silence is not neutrality, it's complicity. Durrati's framing often echoes Western media that portrays Hinduism as backwards or dangerous. Whether it is BBC, it's Al Jazeera, or fringe Western scholars, his narrative aligns with them seamlessly. So the question to be asked here is Is Dhruv Rathi's videos and his content real journalism or a parroting of a global anti-Hindu, Hindu-phobic propaganda? Let's be very clear. Dhruv Rathi is not a neutral voice. He is a carefully packaged product. He is politically aligned. He is selectively outraged and deeply complicit in distorting the Hindu narrative. When someone routinely mocks your festivals, your tradition, your scriptures, and your gurus, and silences those who try to speak up, this is not journalism. This is narrative warfare, and we're already paying the price. In times like these, we Hindus are criminally negligent. We are not united. We are not speaking with one voice. We are not standing for Hinduism, and we are not defending Kailasa, the world's first nation for Hindus. While we are hesitating, while we are delaying, and while we continue to be in our deep slumber, we are being divided, we are being attacked, we are being dismantled, and we are being erased. This is not just a wake up call for now. This is a wake up call that is long overdue. If you have not already noticed, we have already lost our current generation. And if we don't wake up now, we are going to be losing the next. So please ask yourself this one question. Will you keep consuming content that ridicules your identity? Or will you finally draw the line, stand up for Hinduism, stand up for Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and be a strength for Kailasa, for its tradition, and for your own people? Because if you don't stand up now, there will be nothing left to stand for tomorrow.